G'day, I'm Dr. Andrew Ip, and I'm feeling really fortunate today. We have a special invite to Asiga's production facility and manufacturing lines. So let's come in and have a look at the magic.
Dr. Ip,
How you doing, Justin?
good to see you.
Yeah, likewise.
Welcome, come to have a look around. So, this is the space where we assemble our desktop printers, our Max and our Ultra series. Anything that is comprising a module, we'll put those parts together and treat them as a module for the second stage where we put all the modules together. You can see a few examples of these here. That's a heater assembly from the Max. The HEPA boxes where any modifications we have to do to the DLP projectors happen inside there. That's to make sure that no dust gets into the optics when we're handling it. This is the Ultra pre-assembly sections. So at the end, we have a winding station where we wind the electromagnets that go into the platform holder. We also have the HEPA stations where we do the modifications to the projectors. So separate machine, separate assembly areas. We make sure we don't mix components between stations.
All right, so that's pre-assembly. Let's move on to assembly then.
Sure. So this is the start of the Max assembly line. And you can see here the pre-assembly of the structure which we call the spine. So one of the key aspects of 3D printers of the type that we make is that rigidity is extremely important. We're trying to construct objects with layers 50 or even 25 microns thick. Every little bit of deflection can potentially be an order of magnitude greater than the layer thickness we're building with. When we scaled that to the Ultra, the forces on a 3D printer scale non-linearly with the build envelope size. The build envelope of the Max, being about as big as my palm, is managed well with the structure we have here. If you look at the Ultra by comparison, this is the spine of the Ultra. Instead of operating with sheet metal, we used die casting so that we could get a good unit price and keep the cost of the machine down. And it also allowed us to incorporate a lot of assembly features into the one unit. So you can see, like, this is significantly like meatier than the frame for the Max, but it's all based on trying to achieve low deflection under force, which really defines the performance of the printer. So this is our machine calibration area. After every machine is assembled, we need to put it through a calibration and testing procedure. Calibration is to ensure that the projector is aligned perpendicular to the optical axis of the printer. And we also need to ensure that the scaling of the pixels is measured and captured for that machine. We run a calibration and test print on each machine, and it looks something like this. We put on some corner cubes so we can measure the extent of the build platform in the X and Y direction. And we also put these stair-step features on, and that allows us to measure the attributes of the material that we're doing the calibration print in. We can measure its shrinkage and XY offset. We've got a very delicate little calibration part that you see here. That's sort of challenging the resolution of any printer. So we look at that and ensure that we don't see any defects. So after the printers complete their calibration and testing procedures, we bring them out into the packaging and dispatch area. Once they hit this space, we give them a final detailing to make sure there are no scratches or blemishes on the hoods. If you buy a Ferrari, you don't expect to have a scratch across the bonnet. Same for a 3D printer. So this side of the room is where we package the Ultra printers. The Ultras, being a bit heavier than the Maxes, need a bit more assistance for helping get them in the box. But after it all comes together, it ends up packaged like you see here, and it's ready to go out anywhere in the world.
Yeah, end of one journey and a beginning of another one, wherever that may be.
Wherever it might be.
That's it. Well, thanks for having me here, Justin.
Pleasure, Andrew. Good to see you again.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be here again soon. Thank you for joining me on this tour of Asiga's facility and manufacturing lines. I really enjoyed the tour, and I hope you did too.